Dear student, we have come to the another topic of the French Revolution, that is the outbreak of the revolution or the incident that led to the French Revolution is the concept now you are going to learn. On 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called for an assembly of Estates General to pass the new taxes, to lay new taxes or to impose new taxes on the people. There is a custom, a system that the Louis XVI or monarch must call the Estate General. Estate General is a political body to which the three estates send their representatives. So he called the three estates representatives in order to increase the tax or impose tax on the third estate. The first, second and third estate sent their representatives. The first and second estate sent 300 representatives each, and they were seated in the rows facing each other on two sides. The third estate sent 600 representatives. They were more prosperous and educated than the first and second estates members, but they faced discrimination as they were made to stand back of the first and second estate. What I want to tell you is the third estate members were made to stand at the back of the first and second estate members, which was a discrimination. Peasants, artisans and women were denied, which means not allowed to enter to the assembly. But the women, the peasants, the artisans sent their demands and their petitions through their representatives to the Estate General. When they meet the monarch, when all the Estate General meet, they wanted to put their demands and their petitions. So this third estate people sent through their representatives their demands and petitions. The members of the third estate demanded that voting should be conducted by taking assembly as a whole, where each member should have one vote. But the king did not accept this proposal of the third estate, and members of the third estate walked out of the assembly in protest against the king. So this was the situation took place when the assembly was called, when the three estate was called by the Louis XVI. Now you will learn about who formed the National Assembly. On 20th June 1789, the representatives of the Third Estate Assembly in the hall of the indoor tennis court in Versailles. Versailles is a place name in France. So they assembled there and they declared themselves a National Assembly. They promised and took an oath that they will never move from that place until they draft a new constitution for France, which will limit the power of the monarchy of the France. The representatives of the Third Estate were led by Mirabeau and Abbassias. Mirabeau was born in the noble family, but he was against the feudal privileges. Abbassias was originally a priest. He wrote an influential pamphlet called What is the Third Estate? So these both Mirabeau and Abbassias supported the Third Estate people and the National Assembly to frame the constitution. for France. So France was in such condition. At that condition, the National Assembly was very busy in framing the constitution. Meanwhile, while the National Assembly was busy in preparing the constitution, new constitution for France, what happened in the other areas? That is, revolt start at the Bastille. In France, due to severe winter, harvest was severely affected, and that led to the increase of price of the bread. And bakers exploited the situation, made the situation convenient for them, and stored the supplies, and they sold the bread for higher rates. After spending number of hours, long hours in queue at the bakery to get the bread, the crowds of people got angry. More particularly, the women got angry and raided all the shops. On 14th July 1789, an agitated crowd destroyed the Bastille, which was symbolizing the dominating power of the king. It was acting like a prison also for the prisoners. So, these common people who got angry, crowd of people destroyed the Bastille, which was hated by French common people. So, the prisoners, those who were imprisoned in that Bastille also were released by the crowd of people. And the pieces of Bastille building were sold in the market, and those who wished to buy, they bought it and kept it in their home and worshipped because people who gave much importance to king bought those pieces of the building and kept at home to pay homage. In the countryside, meanwhile, rumors spread from village to village saying that the lords of Manor had hired gang of robbers to destroy the ripe crops. This was the rumor spreading among the village people. After hearing this rumor, the peasants attacked Chote in many areas of France. The peasants looted stored grains and burnt documents containing records of the manorial dues. Due to all this, a large number of nobles moved to neighboring countries. So, the nobles were afraid of the people, that they will be killed by the common people. So, they moved away from the villages to other countries or other towns. Here, manor means an estate consisting of lots, lands and his mansion, building. Chotai means stately residence belonging to the king or nobleman. The residence belonging to king or nobleman. So, this was about the destruction of Bastille. This took place in 14th July 1789, which was considered as the French Revolution. So from then, people started asking for their rights. From then, people started demanding for their privileges. From then, people started uniting themselves and asking for all their rights, political rights and all the privileges and opportunities. So these are the incidents led to the French Revolution. This is the outbreak of the French Revolution.